Hey, what's up, passionate DJs? Thank you so much for joining me for today's review of the Reloop Ready. This is a controller I really like because of its size, its form factor, and basically it's all built around convenience, which is something that I like about Reloop controllers in general. If you're a longtime fan of this channel, you know I've been reviewing Reloop stuff probably longer than anything else. I like them as a company because they like to go and find and fill in little holes in the market like this, where, you know, this particular device is meant to sit perfectly on top of a laptop. In fact, if you have a 13-inch laptop, it sits flush perfectly right on top of it, just like this, and provides this sort of like all-in-one kind of experience. Really convenient, really easy to move it around. They've got the inputs and the outputs for the audio and the dials on the side here, and it's really just a convenient little package. It also works with smartphones and tablets, so it does a whole lot of stuff in a very small package. So let's go ahead and get on with this review of the Reloop Ready. Now, if portability and convenience is what you value the most in DJ gear, this might be the controller for you. The Ready by Reloop is a device that's as compact as it is versatile. It ships with Serato DJ Lite, but it's upgradable to the full Serato DJ Pro, and it also works with Algoriddim's DJ app for iOS, which makes it compatible with smartphones, tablets, or computers. So when using Serato, you simply connect one USB cable from the side of the unit to the laptop, place it on top of your keyboard if you so desire, and you're good to go. It sits perfectly on top of a 13-inch laptop as mentioned before, but in my experience you can put it on top of pretty much any size laptop, including a large one with a number pad like this. Of course, even if you prefer to keep it separate, it's still a handy size for stashing in your backpack. When using with Djay Pro, you connect one cord to the iOS device, and the other can be used for independent power or a battery bank. The Ready will charge your device, so you don't need to worry about one of those Apple camera adapters or anything like that. In either case, you get access to a whole world of music thanks to streaming integration with Tidal, SoundCloud, Beatport, and BeatSource Link, provided you have a subscription to one of those. So if you're interested in the Reloop Ready, you can order yours from the same place I got this one, the DJ Hookup. They are our DJ hardware partner, and they're the ones that made this video possible. They offer a best price guarantee versus any other authorized dealer, free shipping, 90-day returns, and financing options. Also, they have a little chat bar where you can speak to a knowledgeable DJ hardware rep to kind of help you find what you're looking for at any time. So don't delay, go visit our friends at thedjhookup.com and tell them David from Passionate DJ sent you. Okay, so here we are looking at the top of the Reloop Ready. As you can see, it's a pretty straightforward design. We've got your mixer in the middle, you've got your two decks on either side. And most of the room is taken up by these jog wheels. They're, sufficiently sized. They're not enormous, but they, get the job done. Probably not best for like a lot of scratching and stuff like that, but outside of that, perfectly adequate. Above each deck, we've got our effects units. So effects unit 1 and effects unit 2. And then you can determine which effects are on of the 3 effects slots in each unit. So effects 1, 2, and 3 on. Then you have the level of the effects right here. And then on the right side is actually your loop control. So the way this works is you will turn it left or right to determine the size of the loop, and then you click it in and it enables the loop. Now, rather than put the pitch faders on the side here, which would kind of make it a little bit too wide for this purpose, they actually kind of put it up here, and that way you still get pretty long throw pitch faders here. Whereas, in some compact controllers, they make just a really tiny little pitch fader and cram it somewhere. So you still get a pretty nice range here, which is nice if you like doing manual beat matching and stuff like that. Between those two pitch faders, you have your EQ. So the one thing that you will notice about this controller is that it's a 2-band EQ rather than 3-band EQ. So you've got high and you've got low. Now, if you've never mixed on a 2-band EQ before, all you really need to know is that you want to be a little bit more gentle with your adjustments, because since there's only 2 bands, it means it's affecting a wider piece of the audio spectrum. So where you might be used to like kind of slamming the bass out, well, that's going to take out like a lot of the sound, like half of the sound, right? it's not hard to get used to. It's just that once you do a couple transitions, you'll understand what you need to do. But if you've never used like an old school kind of scratch mixer that had a 2-channel EQ or something like that, or 2-band EQ rather, that's one thing that you'll need to get used to. Everything else here is pretty much straightforward, and you've seen on other DJ controllers. Now, here in the middle, you've got your browse knob, and you can, twist left and right, obviously, to scroll through your library. Click it in to, enter a crate, and shift-click it in to go back a crate, and then you can load in your left or right decks using those buttons there. Now, you do have a low-pass, high-pass filter for each channel, so easy enough. Your cue buttons for hearing what you're monitoring in your headphones are right here. They're a little small, they're hard to notice, but there they are right there. And then, of course, your channel faders and your crossfader. The beat pads down here are pretty nice, and that's another thing I like about this controller. Usually when you have something very compact, they kind of skimp on the beat pads, and sometimes they'll only give you 4. But in this case, you actually get a full 8 pads for each deck, which is pretty nice. Above the pads, you've got some controls here. You've got your vinyl mode, so if you want to do kind of a scratching motion there, you'd enable that there. You've got your key lock right here, where you can adjust the speed of your track without affecting the pitch. Over here, you've got your parameter adjustments for your effects and things. And then below the pads, what I really want to point out is how this works as far as enabling all the different pad modes that, say, Serato supports. So rather than having all your Serato functions for your pads, as their own independent buttons across the top here, what they do is they give you a mode button. And then if you look, under each pad, you'll see different pad modes. And so you hold the mode button down, and then you push one of those buttons, and then that's how you select what mode you're in. So next to the mode button, you've got your sync button here, and then your cue and play pause buttons here. And then of course you can see some of the secondary functions of these under here. For example, your sensor button, if you hold shift and hit play, then it will do the sensor function in Serato. So if we swoop it around here on the side, you'll see you've got your USB port here and another USB port over here, and then you've got a switch here, so you can go between PC and iOS. So if you're on PC, you just connect a USB cable like that to your laptop, plug it in, and then it powers up and you're pretty much done. Or you could use this like I am here, plug it into a USB power brick, and then it'll power the unit on, and then you can connect your iOS device over here. And now we have a fully mobile setup. And the other side looks like this. So you have your headphones jack here, and then you have your cue volume, your headphones volume, your cue mix, and your main volume, and then your main outputs with RCAs right there. And that's pretty much it on the Reloop Ready. Really lovely, handy little device. So there's a lot of good things to say about this controller. In particular, just its size and shape and the way it's designed, it's really convenient for that person who wants to not take up a lot of desk space. It's also a great system for doing set prep stuff. If you're just sitting at home at a desk and you want to do some test mixes, it's a great backup controller. So there's really a lot of people who might be interested in something like this, even if you have a bigger, more complex setup at home. This is about as compact as you can make a controller and still have it feel like it does all the things, right? So if you take something like this, you can get a smaller DJ controller. This is an older Hercules unit, the DJ Control Compact. A more modern example might be like the Newmark DJ 2 Go or DJ 2 Go 2. But, you know, the problem with something like this, as convenient as it is, it can sit in front of your laptop, you know, you don't have room for channel faders. You don't get all the pads, you know, where you get kind of a full setup here, a full 2-deck setup here. Really the only thing you're kind of missing is like the 3-band EQ is reduced to a 2-band EQ. But you still have, you know, fairly decent sized jog wheels in comparison to something like this. You know, the fact that it can do tablets and phones, you know, it works with the Algoriddim DJay app, so it's fully mobile in that way. You know, it's a really convenient little controller. If I had to make a complaint about it, I think maybe the price point for this is a tad high. When you really look at like the build quality of it and stuff, if you compare this to, say, Pioneer DDJ Rev 1 or Flex 4 or something like that, and they just seem to be a little more solid. The jog wheels feel a little better and the inputs and stuff. That's not to say this one feels bad. Like, I'm not trying to trash this one at all. I really like this controller. It's just, you know, you can tell a little bit of a difference, and at $349 it seems like it's priced just a little bit high. So this is one of those things, like, if you can find a deal on it, if you can find an open box, if you can find a discount, then it really, the price point makes a little more sense. But I just want to make sure that I get across that you know, this is not like a super high-end premium product. What you're really paying for is kind of the design and the size and shape of the thing, the way that it, you know, fits perfectly on the laptop, and it's designed to do that with the inputs, you know, on the sides. Other than that, I really think that this is a pretty neat little device, which is why I recommend it on my DJ controllers guide, which I'll leave a link to in the description below. So yeah, that's the Reloop Ready. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out our podcast. You can check it out on your podcast app on your phone, the Passionate DJ Podcast, and follow us here on the channel for more great videos like this. And as always, keep on spinning.